Hooray for Hollywood! Hello there, I'm Stan the Movie Man, and this is your WIMZ.com movie review. This week your votes at WIMZ.com sent me to see Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, starring Michael Douglas, Shia LaBeouf, Frank Langella, Carey Mulligan, Josh Brolin, and more. It is the story of the return of Gordon Gekko. As the movie opens, he is just getting out of prison in 2001 after serving 8 years for insider trading and other crimes. Fast forward 7 years to 2008, he has written a book where he is predicting, kinda, the collapse of the money markets. Now, Jake Moore is the character played by Shia LaBeouf, who is dating Gekko's estranged daughter, Winnie Gekko, played by Carey Mulligan. He decides that Winnie and Gordon need to reconcile, but he also has another motive, as his mentor, Louis Zabel, who's played by Frank Langella, has been destroyed in the very beginning of the money banks Wall Street collapse and has committed suicide. That collapse is caused in part by the machinations of enemy Bretton James, who's played by Josh Brolin. What Jake wants to do is use Gordon's brains and his connections to figure out a way to destroy Bretton. And Carey is completely against any contact with Gordon because Winnie, his daughter, is against any contact with Gordon because she says he'll just end up hurting her. The question is, has Gordon changed, or is he still playing some kind of game? And that is what the movie really is about. Here's my problem with the movie. Well, there are several things. First, a lot of what happens in the movie doesn't happen in the movie. It either happens before the movie or it happens off screen during the movie. Many of the events are talked about to death in the film, and quite frankly, as I was sitting there watching it, I was thinking, man, this is like a Lifetime movie without the woman being beaten up or stalked. So, you know, it's very talky. And that isn't always a bad thing, but it's also kind of dull, and that is a bad thing. It doesn't really pick up even when various plans begin to be set into motion that really should be a lot more interesting. The first film had a tension about it, had a feeling of anticipation about it that this film completely lacks. Even the things that occur at the very end of the film that are set in motion by other things, again, that didn't happen on screen but happened elsewhere. You know, what should be kind of the thing that really gets you into the film really never takes off. Shia LaBeouf does a good job. Carey Mulligan is okay. But the real stars of the movie, which are Michael Douglas and Josh Brolin, and to a lesser extent Frank Langella, they aren't in the movie nearly enough for their characters, who are the most interesting, to be the stars of the show. Obviously, Shia LaBeouf is supposed to be the star of this movie, and while he's okay, you know, he doesn't do that much. It's the other characters, the three I mentioned earlier, that really are the driving force of this movie, and they're just not given very much to do. I know this movie's been really anticipated. I liked Wall Street, the first film, quite a bit, and seeing Oliver Stone's interpretation of the financial meltdown of 2007-2008 was interesting, although I think I probably needed a doctorate in economics to understand most of what they were talking about. it was also kind of a kick to see people like Jim Cramer and Maria Bartiromo, and the other people from the financial television networks on screen talking about the stuff that's happened. And you know, it for a recent history kind of film, it's interesting from that point of view, but as a drama, doesn't really work for me. I'm giving it 3 guitars. Go to WIMZ.com to read my complete review, as well as to vote on the movie I see next time. If you have any questions for me, feel free to send them to me at StanTheMovieMan@att.net. You can also follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan. Till next time, see ya.